Hey, peace and blessings, people. Gerald Hassan, the Children's Enlightenment Minds Enterprise, aka Mr. Shift Your Perspective. I want to speak to you real briefly about the concept of not having another choice. You know, when a person say, man, well, I ain't had no other choice. What else was I supposed to do? Right? Or they ain't had no other choice. What else was they supposed to do? Right? I want to speak real briefly about that. And, okay, just jump right in it. Okay, this is what I'm thinking about. This is why I kind of paused for a second, right? One time, Kanye West had made this very controversial statement. Kanye West had made a very controversial statement about slavery and it being a choice, right? And many people who are personal friends of mine, you know, they had got at odds with me. Some people may have even unfriended me. I'm not sure. But anyway, I understood his point. I understood what he said. And I think a lot of times when we listen to people, sometimes there's a situation where the emotions get so quickly involved in the conversation to where it makes it a bit difficult to be susceptible to what an individual is speaking about. And so I believe that we was missing some of the words, you know, I mean the actual literal terminology that was being used. The statement, I'm not listening to it, but some of you, if you need to go back and go check it out, you know, I haven't reached that level of being able to add videos to my talks yet. So anyway, if you go back and listen to it, one of the things that this is how he started off his statement, from what I recall, right? It is that he said, I want to say, let me think of paraphrase. He said something in regards to after 400 years of being in slavery or something like that, right? No, I think he said a little different than that. Because the way he said it was that from slavery, from that point to this point, that's kind of how he spoke it in regards to slavery, from the point that we was in chattel slavery to the point now we in psychological slavery, right? He spoke it not in those literal terms, but he said the way he said it in time frame is that's how he said it. So again, go back and check it out. But he said at some point, slavery becomes a choice. At some point. So I've had different dialogues and different debates with different people about that. And, you know, even after those long discussions, some people still really couldn't grasp the point that I was trying to get them to see. And so I've heard others say that, and I have seen others exercise in a type of way to where they would justify their actions or response by the concept of not having another choice. And sometimes when I've had these conversations, I've related the concept of chess to this particular topic. And in chess, from my experience of playing chess, and for those of you who play chess can attest to this, especially in your earlier years of playing chess, when you play someone that's pretty good, or especially someone that's arrogant, right? When you get to playing this person, that person, you know, you especially when you feel like you can beat them and they just not on the level you want or whatever the case may be. But the thing is that when you play chess, a lot of times, chess has the potential and ability of applying pressure on you. And so next thing you know, you see these moves coming, you're trying to figure out what you can do to avoid what is about to happen. Next thing you know, bam, you're in a situation where your king or your queen is being threatened and certain pieces are being threatened. And, you know, I've literally seen people just lay the game down. What I mean, I'm saying they'll lay their king down, lay their queen over. They've given up. They don't even want to fight no more. They feel like they've lost. You know, and some people or feel like they've been checkmated because when they looking at the board, they saying, well, I didn't even have another move. What else was I supposed to do? You know, and actually they have a literal another move. They actually have another move. And most times there is another move. A person say check. Check means that you're not. The game is not over yet, but it's soon to be if you don't make the right moves, right? And so, in a way, a lot of time when you're under that pressure, you'll feel that you don't have another move. I don't have another move. What's my other move? And you just give up. So, in a way, life is very identical to that. A lot of time we get put in certain situations, and we feel that we don't have another move. And the reason being is because, like in chess, again, I want to bring that back up. Like in chess, sometimes your other option is for you is not an option. It's like it costs way too much. That's too big of a sacrifice. That's not a choice. I'm not finna give that up. I mean, if I get it up, I mean, we'll just lay it down. So they don't look at certain things as a choice in life. So sometimes we put in certain situations like slavery, and like I told them brothers in that, in those discussions and debates, it was that just like some of the early captives jumped off of the ship. Some understood that debt was better than tumult and oppression. That debt was better than captivity. You understand? And so some jumped off the ship. That was a choice. Debt is always a choice. On the other side of what's going on the other side of any war, fighting to the death is an option. The thing is that and I'm only using this extremity, right? Because I'm trying to really get people to see the point, and it's that you always have a choice, and you have a choice until you don't literally have another choice. And my thinking, the only thing that has that type of field is death. Death is the only thing that doesn't give you another choice after you made that choice. But there's always some other choice. Now, people who chose to deal with captivity for whatever reason and with the hopes that they can escape, that was a choice. I'm not saying that that was a bad choice, wrong choice, or nothing like that. What I'm saying, because it's a survival. It's all about survival for most. So if they got kids, some people died, jumped over the ship with their child. Some people chose to, find out what's going on and maybe we can get out of this some kind of way. But in life, I'm saying, with every situation we come into, it may feel like you don't have another choice, but if you take deep breaths and breathe, like in chess, a lot of times you should have to give yourself some breather. You have to give your brain some oxygen so you can think. And pressure deprives the brain of oxygen. And so when you find yourself up under pressure and your brain is being deprived of oxygen because you're not breathing correctly and supplying it in the right way, and because of all that's going on biologically in your body, because your body is ready for fight or flight. So you have to disengage that mechanism, I say, in your body. You have to disengage that into the rest and digest response. And that's by breathing. Make your body relax. You know what I'm saying? So you can think. You know what I'm saying? And so once you do that, you'll find that there is another choice. And it don't always have to be something extreme like that. I'm just saying that is always, when people really are in some very serious situations, they say, well, I ain't have a choice. I had to let that happen to me. I had to go through this. I mean, technically you didn't have to, but I understand that if you felt that, that choice was too extreme, then I get it. But I'm saying, my thing is that we have to be able to understand that literally and technically there is always another choice, and we have to breathe and give ourselves our brains oxygen enough to be able to see those other choices, because not all, of course, is not that extreme. I'm just saying that there's always another choice. We just have to be able to allow our brain enough oxygen and enough air for we can think, to be able to see that there are other choices in life. And I hope that resonates with you, because that's really the main point I'm really trying to make, is that there's always another choice. We just really have to sit back and look for it sometimes. And sometimes the sacrifice is so great that that's what makes us feel like there's not another choice. The sacrifice on the other side of that choice, because every choice has a sacrifice. And I don't want to go, because of time, I don't want to go into all the different examples, but there's always a sacrifice required. And sometimes, because the sacrifice is so great, we are determined that that's not even an option. I'm not going to give that sacrifice. I'm not going to live under those kind of conditions. I'm not going to be without this, that, the other. That's not even a choice. So that's the message. That's what I wanted to express to you all this morning. And I hope that it resonates with someone and helps make your response to life a bit better. Peace and blessings.